It is the Thursday edition. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-o, Farmer Blue is in the dell, or Iowa, or Florida, or we're going to have to get to the bottom of this edition. I think the woman I married has been replaced by an imposter, and I need Jesse and Brian's help to figure out if there's been some sort of just change in her mentality, or if she's like a cyborg and she's not really Paula. I can't believe what happened yesterday. Can't believe it. Edition. And as much as we love being that oasis where we talk about stupid things like whether soap cleans itself and Tausch's analogies, and the most serious discussions we have are about whether the Packers need to move on from their defensive coordinator, which they did, and they did. Sometimes real life intervenes, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today in the wake of the Kansas City Chiefs parade edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you want, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com, on the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Why does a potential spam call always call me in the middle of my introduction of the show? Like every single day, how do they know to interrupt me when I'm calling, when I'm doing the show and they're calling? Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Good morning, Jesse.
You could, whoa, what's going on here? You could answer and let them know.
Whoa!
Yeah, video stream.
I've never looked skinnier.
That was messed up. Yeah, just answer the call and say, hey, please don't call me at this time.
I'm guessing it's some sort of bot or maybe they heard me mention cyborg and they want to sell me my own robot, like an iRobot. From his undisclosed location, Florida man, legendary Packers right tackle, looking resplendent in his purple hoodie. Hoodie? That's a hoodie, right? I can't see the back, but it looks like a hoodie.
Yeah, it's a hoodie. Oh, yeah.
No Tausch again today. He is on assignment, so our cousin sub of the day is our friend Bryan Bulaga. Brian, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Good morning. I thought, purple, why not? It's a little chilly in here in Florida this morning.
What is it, 55, 60?
Yeah, it was 55 this morning when I took the kids to school, so I was a little chilly. I just wanted to make sure I stay bundled up, don't catch a cold. Like I always hear that clip of Tausch saying he's a little under the weather, and you ask him, does he have a tummy ache?
I feel fantastic.
There it is.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm ready to go. That's
all right. Yeah, that's great. I woke up, it was snowing, so you've got it rough down there. Good thing you've got that simulator to work on your golf swing when it's chilly 55 degrees. All right, I want to do this. We don't have to do this, but I see this, quite frankly, as an opportunity because you and I, we're friends, right? Tell me we're friends. Are we friends? Have we become friends?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I would say this. I think there are people that have covered the team, either currently, in the past, whatever it might be, who think they're friends with guys. And maybe I was guilty of this early in my career, too. I'm not above that. Of thinking you're friends with a guy when you're not really friends with a guy. Like, he's really like Tausch. I mean, Tausch was tolerating me when I was covering him. We weren't friends. I was irritating him. I was annoying him. I was writing great stories about him. But now we're friends. I don't cover you. I don't have to criticize you when Bruce Irvin eats your lunch. I don't have to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm such a good friend that I bring that kind of stuff up to you. But here's the thing. You and I are different. And I'm not just talking about you being a hulking, successful NFL player, man's man, and I am a fraidy cat little sports writer, radio host guy. Not that. You're in good shape. I'm not. You've got a full head of hair, even though you shave it. Mine is starting to recede. All that stuff. We're different people. But, and look, you have to understand this. One of the reasons I got into this business is so we don't have to have overly serious conversations. I don't have to write overly serious stories. Sometimes real life does intersect sports. And yesterday, that is what happened. As the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, we spent part of our show yesterday talking about how you didn't get a parade when you guys won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You just had the event at Lambeau Field. And then a few hours later, here is this news that there have been 21 people wounded and one person killed when gunfire erupted at the tail end of the parade and the event that they did in the public sphere of Kansas City. And it was, for me anyway, and this has happened a few times, right? There was an incident after a Bucs playoff game, I think, last year outside Fiserv Forum where there were shots fired. And those are the times when real life interrupts our silliness that is sports talk radio and goofy things that Tausch brings up and everything else. But I thought this was an opportunity, and here's why. Because you and I are different. And, look, I'm not going to ignore the elephant in the room or the gun safe over your shoulder. Because you are a responsible gun owner. I have been invited many times by our old friend Jerry Perrins, the former head of security for the Packers, to go to the gun range with him. And I don't even want to touch a gun, okay? I'm afraid of them. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? So you and I are in different places on that. And yet I feel like, because we are friends and because there is an opportunity, and this is what frustrates me, if this is going to intercede with our fun sports talk and our fun Bryan Bulaga bought a farm talk, I want to at least make it productive in the moment and then move on, because I don't want to spend the whole time talking about this. But here's my question for you. Do you believe that someone like me and someone like you can find a common ground of responsible gun owners like yourself who have your stuff locked away? You make sure Declan and Abby and everyone is safe in your house. Can people like you have the right and be able to enjoy going to the gun range and doing everything responsibly? And I, who am afraid of them and would never buy one, not for any other reason, not because of my political beliefs or anything else, I'm just afraid of them. Can two of us, who are different ends of the spectrum, agree that we have to figure out a way to stop evil people who go to a parade with guns, whether they're having a dispute with another party and they're not doing it because they're making any sort of statement or trying to just hurt people randomly, whatever the reason? We don't know why this happened yesterday. But can we set an example, you and I as friends, to be able to say, all right, let's just find whatever common ground there is to find. Let's find it so stuff like this doesn't happen. So we can talk about the silly stuff that's sports and not about what happened when the Super Bowl champs were celebrating their title. Can we do that?
Yeah, I think so. And, I think you look at kind of just the way you and I talk and kind of how you kind of brought this conversation about. I think that's kind of the problem that we're seeing in today's society, right? Like, people don't want to have those conversations because they may think of themselves as this or that, and they don't want to just ignore that and talk to each other as human beings. And I think that's the problem in today's society, is that we can't have a discussion about things and come to a common ground agreement because whatever we look at politically or whatever it may be tells us to think this way or that way. And that's a shame, because I think if we came together as a country and had honest discussions about things, and you could take something from this side, take something from that side, hear each other out without demeaning someone or talking down to another person or calling a person this name or that name, and listen to each other's issues and problems about each side and come to a common agreement, we can make the country and things like this not happen anymore. And it's sad for me to see what happened yesterday. It's sad. I can only put myself in that situation or my kids in that situation and think about it, I guess a way I could look at it is not being a player, but say, a team that Declan likes, say, I don't even a team that he likes now. We'll say the Packers. Say it happened in Green Bay, and he wanted to go to the Super Bowl parade. The Packers won the Super Bowl this year, and something like that happens. I mean, that makes me sick thinking about it, right? Like, and you can be like me and be a 2A supporter and own firearms and still think there's something very wrong with what is going on, right? Like, you could still be supportive of that and own firearms and be responsible with them the way I believe I am, but then look at something that happened yesterday and go, there's a problem, right? Like, there's an issue that we need to address. And what that solution looks like, I don't know, because I feel like it's been talked in circles forever now, right? Like, I think we can all agree that this issue of gun violence and where, how do we stop it? How do we keep it out of the hands of certain people? Like, this issue's been talked about for longer than I've been an adult, right? Like, I mean, obviously before I was a firearm owner, obviously. And what that solution and common ground resolution looks like, I don't know, because like, it's not something that I've ever really put my mind to, because I like to stay in my own little bubble. But then when things like this happen that affect kind of my sphere of things, like it's sports, right? Like, right. I like to keep in my little bubble of like sports, my family, talking to you guys about things. And then when it impacts my sphere of like things that I enjoy and do, and maybe that's very, very narrow-minded of me, that I'm not trying to open up to all these. Yeah, like, I don't want to open up to all the issues and really stick my nose in everything, because maybe personally I don't want to. But it makes me think more about what we can do. And obviously it happened yesterday, and I haven't really thought about it that much, right? Like, it's so fresh. But I know that something can be done, and it should be done. And what that is, like, I don't know, but I can assure you that what Kansas City, the city of Kansas City's feeling right now, and the people there and the people that were there, I'm sick for them, because something that should have been a great occasion, and like you said, Jason, we don't know what this was about yet, and we're not jumping to conclusions. I'm not jumping to conclusions about what it was about, who was involved, we don't know any of that yet. And you know what? The way these things turn out, we may never know, to be honest with you. Like, we may never get an explanation of what happened yesterday. But I do know that doesn't mean I can't change my opinion on that we as a country need to come together and find a common ground solution for making it safer to be in these big public settings. And what that is, like, I know people are going to say, well, you don't offer any solutions. You're right. I don't, because I don't know what it is, right? Like, I don't have that solution. But I do know that if we come together and like, I didn't want to make this political, but left side of the aisle, right side of the aisle, down the middle, like, if we all come together and look at this thing as what's common ground for everybody, it could be better. And that's really what we're looking for, is for it to be better. And I don't want to go into a political jargon, because that's not why people listen to this show. And I really don't want to. Yeah, and that's why I don't want to get into it that much, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, right? Like, and that's what I think, for me, what makes this country great is that you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, and we're still friends. Like, at least that's the way I look at why this country's so great, that we can have our own views on things and still get along just great. And that's why I don't like to get into it, because this isn't the show for that, right? Like, there's plenty of things that we could go to have that opinion. But our listeners also have their own opinions. And I don't want to sit here and tell a listener how they should think or what they should do. But I do know that if you are a listener and you are, especially for me with kids, or someone that has kids, and that's something that goes through your mind constantly, right? Like, what could, with kids going to school or going to big public events like this, like, things that could happen. It's always on the back of my mind. But it's more than just the firearm issue, for me, at least. We need to look at this as a broader picture than that. And maybe that is more narrow-minded of me. Maybe that is. I don't know. But I know that we can do something together as a country to make this issue better. And that's, to me, my view on it. And and I don't want to get too much more into it. But that's just me. And I'd love to hear your opinions on it, because obviously, like you said in the beginning of this, you and I differ on a lot of things from that standpoint. So I always like to hear other opinions, because I think that's good for me to hear other opinions. At least, that's the way I think.
Yeah, so here's the two things that I just want to touch on, and then I got to be honest, before this happened, I was very eager to start the show with Farmer Blue. I mean, I had already started working on photoshopping you into a farmer's outfit, and I got to finish that project, but I really want to get to that. So we are always going to try to be, whether Tausch is here or not, whether it's you, whoever might be subbing, we're always going to try and be that oasis, right? I mean, I feel like one of the reasons why our show succeeded is because when the pandemic hit and everyone was alone, we managed to bring people together that you could listen to the show and have some laughs and try and figure out if soap cleans itself and that kind of silliness. And so I don't ever want to lose that. So we're gonna use the first part of the show right here to talk about this briefly, and then we're done with it. So here's the two things that bothered me. One is, Jesse, frankly, it's something that you sent in our text message while we were planning the show, is that now you're almost to the point where you're like nervous about the idea of if a Wisconsin team wins a title, that you don't necessarily want to go to the celebration. And for that to be part of your thinking tells me that we need to do more to fix it, because we should not have to live like I mentioned the Bucks thing. I have friends, and again, they're all different ages, they're all different walks of life, but I have friends in Milwaukee who will now not go downtown because they think it's too dangerous, and they don't want to go to a Bucks game. I got to tell you, I mean, I went to a couple last year, and I'm not a fan, and they're still really fun. Like, that is a great environment that the Bucks have built with a great team, and it sucks that there are people that would say, well, there's violence down there, and there was a shooting after a playoff game. I'm not going to go to Bucks games anymore. So that's one that bothers me. The other part is, I wish we lived in a world where everyone who owned a gun was as responsible as Bryan Bulaga is, because then we wouldn't have this stuff going on. Unfortunately, we don't live in that fantasy land. And so where the common ground, and again, you don't have to call me a crazy liberal, because that's not what people love to tell you what you think. And that's not what we're doing here, and that's certainly not going to be accurate with some of my beliefs. All I'm asking is for us to figure out a way to do a better job of keeping guns in the hands of responsible people like Bryan Bulaga, and fewer people that are evil or mentally disturbed and are going to do stuff like this. And that's the common ground to me that I feel like we can find, because I do not want to take away your guns, because I'm not worried about you. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm a little worried about your farming, award notwithstanding. But my frustration, and then we'll finish this off, is that I am so tired of the same statements when this stuff happens over and over and over again. And you mentioned as a dad, and to me that's the last point I want to make, is that if you had been the starting right tackle on the Kansas City Chiefs, you and Abby and your kids would have been down there. And if I was a beat writer for the Kansas City Chiefs and the girls were off of school, Paula and the girls would have been down there while I was covering the event. If you are just a dad who is a Chiefs fan, you went down there with your kids. And look, there are, I believe, of the 21 that have been injured, 9 or 10 are children. And my frustration with this issue is that if we can't get angry enough at school shootings and incidents where our children are the ones who are injured and hurt and killed, then there's something wrong with us that's not a good enough motivator to find common ground. So that's all I'm asking for. I'm not going to get on a soapbox. I just thought this was an opportunity for two people who like each other and who are friends, who don't see eye to eye on a couple of issues, to be able to say, hey, if Bryan and I can be friends, can't we, I don't want to sound like Rodney King, but can't we all just get along? Can't we all just find a way on something like this to get along? That's all I wanted to address with this.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, that's what I said about where we are as a country right now. Mm-hmm. We're so, polarized on left or right or what we believe that we can't even talk to each other about basic things, right? Common ground things that could be beneficial to our kids, right? Like, I mean, it's the most common sense thing that we can't even talk about because we're so divided as a country, and it's awful. But that's just me. I mean,
it's not just you. We're together on that, and I think there's a lot of people. To finish this off, I think there's a lot of people like us on both sides of this issue that feel like there's a common ground to be found, and for whatever reason, politics, whatever, we never make the effort to get there. And if people like us can have this conversation, it would be nice to see people who are supposed to be our leaders find a way to do what we just did. That's all. Because it should be, I don't want to say, it's about the children, but it is. It is. And there are kids today that were at a parade to celebrate their team winning the Super Bowl, and now they're going to be dealing with whether it's the physical scars of actually being injured and hit by gunfire, or the mental scars of being there and hearing gunshots while they're there to see Travis Kelce and hoping that Taylor Swift flew all the way from Australia to come to the parade. And instead they're thinking about what they heard and what they saw. And we need to do better for the kids that we have and for the kids that everybody has. All right, that's it. We're done. This is not politics with Jason and Bryan. This is the Farm Report with Bryan and Jason. We will get to that. I also want to talk about a couple of other aspects of the Packers offseason, and we have some leftover questions from yesterday, and we will take more of yours for the doctor, the nurse practitioner, the PhD, whatever you want to call him. He knows his stuff when it comes to football. So if you have questions for Bryan about football, now's the time to send them in. You can text them in, 844-770-3776. We'll stick to texts today so we can kind of control the clock better than I just did for the first segment of the program. But your questions for Bryan, and they can be farming too. We're going to get to the bottom of that. But I do have something I want to ask about the aftermath of what happened with the San Francisco 49ers moving on from Steve Wilks, their defensive coordinator, yesterday, and what that tells us about the challenges of playing defense in the NFL, whether you're the 49ers or whether you're the Packers. We'll talk about that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Jump into leap year savings at Metro Kia of Madison. Leap into a 2024 Kia Seltos at 2.49% APR financing for 60 months, $18 per thousand borrowed. It's also the month of love at Metro Kia of Madison, and you'll love a 2024 Kia EV6 for 0% APR financing for 60 months, $18 per thousand borrowed. Offers good to qualified credit and ends February 29th. All new vehicles include 2 years, no charge maintenance, only at Metro Kia of Madison.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Thinking about updating your bath or shower? Well, turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get a free toilet with your Lugstone shower purchase, and you pay nothing until 2025. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent-resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
All right, slight change of plans here because between Bulaga and I, we both tend to talk in expansive paragraphs as opposed to short sentences. And so a greater discussion about defense we will push a little bit further into the show because I want to play this clip for you because I heard it this morning on social media. And I want to play it for Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, who's going to join us next. Because it feels to me like, once again, our old buddy, old Podna, old T, Mark Tauscher, was ahead of the curve for all these national folks. Here's Mike Greenberg on Greeny talking about his sneaky team to represent the NFC in next year's Super Bowl.
I have a feeling about these Packers. Second half of this season, Jordan Love was as good as any quarterback in the entire NFL with the exception of no one. He went into Dallas and humiliated the Cowboys in their own building in the playoffs. And you know what? He had San Francisco dead to rights. With as young an offense as there is in the entire NFL, they're going to get better and better. If I had to pick a sneaky flyer to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl next year, I would go to Green Bay.
In the words of Mark Tauscher, no blank blank. We've been telling you about that for a while now. My question for you, Brian, is we all kind of feel that, but, and it's been interesting to hear LaFleur and Goody both say it publicly and I'm sure privately to these players, just because you did what you did in the second half of the season and in the playoffs doesn't mean that you're going to just be able to roll your helmets out there and do it again next season and be that sneaky Super Bowl team. So if you were on this team and you were one of the few old men on the roster, how would you be going about making sure that all these great things that these guys are hearing, because they're seeing it on their social media channels, they're hearing it, how do you make sure that they parlay last year's or this past season's success into being the team that we're all thinking they are going to be?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would be telling, especially the young guys, is obviously the obvious statement is we got to ignore that, right? Because now you look at this as a veteran guy and you were on this young team. There wasn't a bunch of expectation, and now you're going into this season. You got a little bit of a bullseye on you now, right? Teams want to come in and beat you again. It was the same way with Aaron. Teams wanted to beat us. The worst teams in the league gave us their best shot all the time. We'd go into a place or have a bad team come to Lambeau, and it would be a ball game. And because they wanted to beat Aaron, they wanted to wipe that smile off Aaron's face that he would have when he was, dicing up a team. So now they need to look at it as that's what teams are going to want to do. They're going to want to come in and stop Jordan Love and beat the Packers because of kind of the run they had at the end of the year. There's no underestimating them now, right? There's no surprises. Defensive coordinators and defenses are going to understand that these dudes are for real. There's not going to be any surprises that Wicks and all these guys are going to come in and, oh, man, we didn't expect him to be able to do that. They expect him to be able to do that now, right? And that's going to be the challenge is people can give us all these compliments, say that we're their sneaky pick, but we got to go up there and do it because we started last season really bad. Guys, if we remember this, we started really bad. So we got to go into this fresh season, and, yeah, we could draw on what we did towards the end last year, but we need to take that same energy, that same mental focus and discipline and apply that week one because if we don't, teams are coming in here hot to beat us. And, and if we don't find our right rhythm early, we're going to get beat, and it's not going to look good. So to me as a veteran guy, I would be telling you we need to come back down to earth. We didn't really win anything last year, right? We didn't win anything, right? We didn't win the division. We didn't get to the NFC Championship. We won one playoff game against I hate to say it because I love Mike McCarthy, an overrated Dallas team. We didn't really do much. So we can say how good we are and let people say how good we are, but we need to come back down to reality and get ready to play football because everyone's coming in here to give us their best shot, and we need to be ready for it.
Well, given how good they were after you went to practice and delivered your pep talk, perhaps they should bring you in this offseason to deliver this message because I don't know if they have enough old guys on the roster to do it. All right, I want to bounce this off of Evan Cohen when he joins us coming up next because obviously it's one thing for Bryan and Tausch and me and Jesse to be talking about the Packers in this way. But when you hear someone nationally saying this, and I think, I don't listen to Colin Cowherd regularly, but I think he's been talking about the Packers this way. I think when Jordan Love was on Radio Row at the Super Bowl, he had people talking to him this way. And I'm curious, because Evan does a national show, if he sees the Packers in this same vein. So when we talk to Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, we'll ask him that. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
If I had to pick a sneaky flyer to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl next year, I would go to Green Bay. They're going to get better and better.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
What is a better buying experience? Well, you're minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. To me, a better buying experience is a personal experience. That's what Dan and his sales team have set up at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're going to have the experience that you're looking for. You're going to define what that better buying experience is for you, and they're going to get you in the vehicle that you need and that you want, whether it's new or new to you. So when you're looking for a better buying experience, go to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finally burns it down.
This is perfect timing. Joining us now, you can see him or listen to him, depending on if you're watching on television or if you're listening on the radio, every morning across ESPN Wisconsin on Unsportsmanlike. It is Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Happy birthday, Jason, first of all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, it's your birthday today.
Yeah, I was not going to publicize that, but I knew someone might mention it at some point.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Now, wait.
Well, happy
Bulaga,
birthday.
wait.
I mean,
Brian, Jesse should have told you that, no? Let's put this on Jesse.
No, I didn't get any info today on that. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of Jesse's deal.
Yeah,
Thanks,
probably
Jesse.
should have. But he didn't want to talk about it. So if
No. That's not. I didn't want to make it a topic, but I'm fine with. And by the way, when Brian is a cousin sub on March 21st, we're going to make a big deal about it being his birthday. So just be prepared right now, because I'm sure Tausch will be off.
Wait a minute. Well, there's something. Well, if it's a day that ends in Y, Tausch is usually off. So here's the thing that I think we got to look at it this way. There's a difference. Here's where Jesse is to blame. Jesse should tell Bryan, hey, by the way, we're not doing this as a big deal. It's not Jason's thing, which is totally fine. But it is his birthday today if you want to give him like a birthday text before the show or something like that. That's where Jesse is at fault here, Bryan. Right? Don't you think? It can be a conversation off air without it bringing it on the air.
Yeah, I agree. I completely. Just a little heads up would have been nice because now I feel bad that I didn't, be able to wish Jason a happy birthday, and you had to do it, and we've been on air, so I feel kind of bad about that now.
We did spend the entire first segment serious discussion. You guys talked about how good friends you've become, despite your differences and opinions and things. And now you didn't even know when Jason's birthday was.
Yeah. So that's why and it's really easy to remember. A day after Valentine's Day, super easy to remember. Like, thanks, Jesse. Now I look like the bad guy. So yeah, that's
See, Jesse, here's where again, Jesse, you're digging yourself a deeper hole on this. Nobody is saying that you should have had the birthday conversation over the serious real-life conversations that you guys have had. What Bryan and I are both saying is when you send a rundown, when you're sending a text to connect for the show, whatever it is, hey, by the way, at 8:58, you may want to give Jason a happy birthday because at 9, we're on to something else. That's it. Jesse, take the L. Admit it. Don't be like Kyle Shanahan. Admit fault publicly here, Jesse. Go ahead. Come on.
Oh, nice.
I may have forgot it was Jason's birthday, too.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh, my gosh.
It's all good. All right.
Wait a second. Jason, I will move on after this, I promise you. I just want to confirm this for me, Jason. Am I the first person on this show to wish you a happy birthday today?
You are.
Wow. Oh my God, Jesse! Oh my God!
I would like to. I would like to just say that Brad Lane sent me a text to wish me a happy birthday. Lance Davis, Nolan Murphy, Ashton Rotman, Danielle Brandon.
Get him, Jason! Get him, Jason!
All right, Shane Blackman. All right, the list goes on and on. All right, there's a couple things I want to get to with you because we're excited to have you because we do need your national insight. And by the way, I am perfect. I'm not one of those don't talk about my birthday guy. I just think that you reach a certain point in birthdays where it's not that big of a deal anymore, right? Like it's.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree.
So we wanted to get your perspective first because you fill in for Greeny on a fairly regular basis on his show. He said something recently about the Packers being his sneaky NFC pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, and I feel like. Whether it's Bryan or Tausch or Jesse or me, like this is the team we focus on. This is what we serve at our restaurant is Packers talk. And so we probably have felt that way for 2 months now, and certainly after what they did in the postseason. But do you get the sense, because you have a more national perspective, that there are more people like Greeny that are seeing the Packers this way?
Yes, 1,000%. I'll go one step further. First of all, I don't know that they're sneaky anymore.
Right.
When you win a playoff game and you compete with the Niners the way that they did, I don't know if they're necessarily sneaky. So literally I get off the air at 9 a.m. Central your time, and we have a post-show conversation, and a lot of our post-show conversation is about planning the next day's show. And one thing that I brought up for tomorrow that I'll do now, obviously, is I think the two teams that have the most pressure to be great in the regular season next year in the NFL would be Green Bay and Houston. And the reason I say it that way, let's just focus on the NFC. So Philadelphia has only pressure to be great in the postseason. Dallas, with a guy that I think all of us on this show truly like, and Mike McCarthy, I think their pressure is in the postseason. San Francisco, their pressure is only in the Super Bowl. Detroit is now a playoff team, NFC Championship team. If they get in as a wild card, nobody's going to care. I think Green Bay has more pressure on them to be great in the regular season, and I think they will be, than any other NFC team because we saw what they can do, but now we need to see it for 17 regular season games.
Confirmation. Proof that they can do it, and it wasn't a fluke.
And I don't think it was a fluke.
No, I don't
just think
either.
it's like, yeah, I just think it's like, okay, like you had that next step developmental kind of season. Like, okay, like, you know, the Bulls competed against the Celtics and then the Pistons, but like ultimately you had to beat them, which they did. Like, you know, it's like the steps kind of thing. And I think that Green Bay will win 11 games this year at least, and they'll be potentially a division winner in the NFC North. I don't know that there's another team in the NFC that has to be better than them, you know, has to be greater than what the Packers are going to be next season. Because, again, look at Dallas and Philly. If Dallas and Philly get in by way of wild card, we're not going to care. Right? It doesn't matter if they win 9 games. All that matters, or 10 games, all that matters is if they're great in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Packers don't have the pressure yet to be great in the postseason. I think they have more pressure to be great for the majority of the regular season.
Yeah, so Evan, I mean, I think we all look at the potential of this team based on Jordan Love and these young weapons at wide receiver, which is all great. We can all talk about that. We all saw what he did. But, I mean, the big question, at least for me, and obviously we've been talking about a lot, new defensive coordinator, new defensive scheme. I mean, we talk about can the Packers be great because of the offense, but is there potential that they may not be great because of a new defensive scheme and a new D coordinator, that it may take this team time to adjust to the way they want to play defense now in this 49er four-down scheme? I mean, I think we put a lot of stock into the offense, which we should, because we think Jordan Love and these young receivers are the real deal, but there's two sides of this thing, right? I mean, and defense is a big part of helping these teams make that big step, and we're unsure about Green Bay's defense right now.
Well, let's use the comp, which is not fair, but let's use the Chiefs comp, right? Everybody is saying this year the Chiefs were built differently and not as good as they've been in years past, and they still win a Super Bowl. I'd argue they were actually built better than they were in years past because they have the Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame quarterback, Hall of Fame tight end, and great defense, right? So if you're looking at the Green Bay to compare it to, because I don't personally, and Jason knows I feel this way, like I would never pay wide receivers or running backs if you have an elite level quarter. If I have Aaron Rodgers, I don't need to pay Jordy Nelson. Which I know has been a theme on this show for a long period of time, the Jordy Nelson. Right? But like my approach is I will find the next version of that because I have Aaron Rodgers. So when I look at Green Bay, I look at, am I going to spend money to bring Aaron Jones back, or am I going to spend money to improve the defense? And I would if I think I have an elite level quarterback, which I think they do, and an elite level coach, which I think they do, then all of my money is going to be spent to make sure my defense is great, even if it means downgrading in some of the skill position areas that the masses care about. So, yes, the defense obviously matters. It doesn't matter more than the quarterback, but it arguably matters second to the quarterback because I don't believe in paying the skill position guys.
Yeah, so I guess here's my question, right? Because, we saw Aaron Jones's impact those last 6-7 games when he was truly healthy. I think it helped Jordan Love out tremendously. And we're talking about potentially not paying Aaron Jones and investing in the defense, which if you look at Green Bay over the last probably 7 years, that's mostly where the investment's been done, whether it's free agency or through the draft. So I think, are you kind of leaning again towards obviously a heavy defensive draft, but also kind of letting some of these offensive guys like Aaron Jones walk and investing more money defensively in free agency?
Absolutely. I am, and I know how good Aaron Jones is, and I know how great he was down the stretch. I understand all of that, but think about the amount of running backs that are going to be out there this offseason, and I'm not saying you're going to pay Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs or Tony Pollard or Ezekiel Elliott, who actually was excellent last year in the limited role for New England. Like, there are so many running backs out there that if Jordan Love takes the next step, which why would I think he would not, I'm not going to use that much money on the running back position. I mean, like, what is Aaron Jones going to command in the offseason? 15 to 20? Or 10 to 15, excuse me? 10 to 15, something like that? Yeah. I'd rather use my 10 for 3 guys than use the 10 for 1 guy. I don't want to go all Moneyball Scott Hatterberg style here, but I kind of think that's the way to go. Again, okay, let's do it this way. Do you both believe that Jordan Love will be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL next year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe the offensive line is set and ready to go?
No.
Somewhat.
Okay. Do you believe the defense is set and ready to go?
Definitely not.
No.
Okay, so any available money needs to be spent on those two spots, offensive line and defense.
Yeah, you're
If
right.
I have a top 10 quarterback, if I have a top 10 quarterback, it's his job to take C or B level receivers and running backs and make them into B or A level guys. And he can only do that if he's protected. And he can only do that if he's not on the field all the time because the defense, is he would be on the field more, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand the concept of why you would ever want to pay a running back or a wide receiver when you have that guy who's that good at that position, at quarterback.
Well, and we saw two things that solidify your position. One, the coinciding of Jordan Love's elevated play with the offensive line playing a heck of a lot better, and the fact that they invested a lot of picks in wide receivers who maybe with another quarterback or in another scheme aren't as productive as they were, but all those young guys to varying degrees were productive last year, so you don't need to invest there again. Evan, two things before we move on, and it's been really fun to actually get to talk to you during one of your segments as opposed to when you and Tausch go back and forth. One, you had that zinger about Shanahan, and Tausch and I were both theorizing earlier in the week that Shanahan just didn't want to admit that he didn't fully understand the overtime rules, and so this argument of we wanted the ball third was a cover. When you said what you did, what is your belief or opinion on him not on how he's kind of handled the post-game fallout of that loss?
So what's crazy about this, guys, is every single time Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty, and I have been talking about it this week, which has been a lot, as you would expect. It's like we discover something else that's new about this, right? So let's go through a couple of things. Shanahan says he wanted the ball third. In order to get the ball third, you have to acknowledge that the opposition is going to score, right? There's no third possession if the opposition doesn't score. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to acknowledge that the opposition is going to score, and that said opposition, in this case Kansas City, has told you they would have gone for two, there would never have been a third possession because that game in that scenario, both teams scored touchdowns, would have finished either 27-26 San Francisco or 27-26 Kansas City or 26-25 San Francisco. It was 19-19 at the end of the regulation. If you're assuming a third possession, that means two touchdowns likely are scored in that scenario, and there would not be 7 points on the second one. There'd either be 6 or 8. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to assume that the other team is going to score and you're going to take the ball first, why are you not operating in four-down territory and willing to kick a field goal? You've told me on the low end they're going to at least have 3 points. So when you're at 4th and 4 from the 9-yard line and you decide to kick a field goal, which obviously if it's four-down territory, that likely starts on second down and not fourth down. But if you're in 4th and 4 from the 9-yard line, theoretically you've already made 2 poor play calls to get there, and you're not going for it. Because what's the worst that could happen? You give them the ball at the 9-yard line, tied at 19 apiece? That's not the end of the world, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these different scenarios that we could look at lead us to he really didn't know the rules. Here's the one that drove me crazy, okay? And I thought initially when I heard him say this, I'm like, well, I'm not that smart. I understand that, but, like, I got to be understanding this right. When he referenced analytics to his decision-making, so if something has happened in life 0 times, how do I use analytics to determine the outcome? Because what we saw in the Super Bowl has never happened. It's the first, and not that overtime in the playoffs has never happened, but overtime under these rules has never happened. So even if you were to say of the 10 times, let's say, we've gone into overtime in the playoffs, this is the percentage, it's under different rules.
Mm-hmm.
You can't apply those rules to this overtime. Last year was the first year of the new overtime. Never happened. This year it's happened once, obviously, in the Super Bowl. So when he's referencing analytics, I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it, and I said this with Homer, I just think he botched everything from the fourth quarter on. I think he botched it. I think he is a huge reason why San Francisco lost that football game. And I said it to Homer. I go, I hope Matt LaFleur watched what his buddy did in these big games so he does the opposite. And I mean that. Because, like, you look at Shanahan in these big games, he's botched them, right? And he really has. And you look at the 2 playoff games, right? By a miracle, they came back and beat Detroit. Green Bay had them, right? Green Bay messed that up. Kyle Shanahan and the Niners didn't win that game against Green Bay. Green Bay gave that to them. So, like, you look at the 2 playoff games plus the Super Bowl, and Kyle Shanahan did not have this team ready to go and did not call a great game, which everyone talks him up to be this offensive guru, and he's got the best game plans and the best play caller. He was not good in the playoffs. And to me, this Super Bowl loss, I mean, it's a big part of it's resting on him. A big part of it.
I totally agree, and I get very defensive on behalf of someone I have never met nor spoken to in Mike McCarthy. I don't know why I feel this way, but I do. And Greeny brought this up. Imagine if Mike McCarthy did that.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, is significantly more accomplished in his career than Kyle Shanahan. And as great as Kyle Shanahan is, and he's one of these guys in sports that, and this is a compliment, he gets fired on a Tuesday, he gets hired on a Wednesday. None of us are saying he doesn't deserve to be a head coach. We're just saying maybe he's overhyped a little bit. I found this fascinating. Kyle Shanahan has been a head coach of the Niners for, I believe, 7 years. Do you know that he has the 6th most wins, or the Niners do, in that span in the NFL in that time? Wouldn't you have thought it was higher than that? Do you know the Rams have had more wins than the Niners in the same time, including a Super Bowl?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Maybe having a down year. I believe the Saints have more wins during that same period of time than the Niners do, which I was stunned about. He is a great coach, but he has had colossal mistakes in big moments times 3. 28-3 offensive coordinator for Atlanta, up 10 in the fourth quarter for San Francisco against Kansas City, the first Super Bowl, and then obviously this one. Yeah, Mike McCarthy's had some bad losses. Mike McCarthy also wins double-digit games every single year, regardless of who's on his team. You could say Mike McCarthy's always had good quarterbacks. I would say Mike McCarthy's always made better quarterbacks with the good quarterbacks that he's had. And here's the other question, and I love Brock Purdy. The question that I've asked people around ESPN with NFL people, is he a good evaluator of quarterbacks? We know he's a good developer of quarterbacks. Is he a good evaluator of them? Like, I think John Gruden is one of the most overrated quarterback guys you'll ever see in your life because he had the TV show, and we think, oh, John Gruden is so great with quarterbacks. Go look at the quarterbacks when John Gruden was a head coach and how bad they are. People are hearing this, and they're like, what do you mean, Rich Gannon? Rich Gannon won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl, and their former Wisconsin offensive line coach, Bill Callahan, not John Gruden. Look at some of these guys with Kyle Shanahan. He's been good at developing them, but evaluating them, he has swung and missed a bunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
From
I
Jimmy
agree.
G to Trey Lance, and you're right. Brock Purdy as a Mr. Irrelevant has been far beyond your expectations for someone picked in that spot. But again, Jason,
this is what the Patriots, to their credit, always say this. They always say if we knew how good Brady was, we wouldn't have passed on him 5 times.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know, the Niners did pass on him 6 times.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yep. Hey, this was really fun. If Tausch is off again on a Thursday, I look forward to this kind of conversation next time, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, by the way, Jason, happy birthday. I mean, we're all saying it. Everybody's saying it.
I've heard that.
Yeah. What a disgraceful performance by Jesse. Bulaga gets a pass.
We're now promoting text on the text line to wish Jason a happy birthday. We'll flash him up all show long on the video stream. Yep.
Okay, that makes it a lot better. Thanks, Ev.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Evan.
See you guys.
More birthday wishes. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Beasley fires up a 3 on the other side, knocks it down, and does a little shimmy after the fact.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Jesse Nelson here for Hanson & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hanson & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansonandSons.com for more information. That's HansonandSons.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. The 20th ranked Wisconsin men's basketball team got back on track Tuesday night with a win over Ohio State at the Kohl Center, snapping a 4-game losing streak. The Badgers look to stack back-to-back wins for the first time in the month of February Saturday afternoon as they head to take on Iowa. The Badgers are in third place in the Big Ten with a 9-5 record in conference play, with just 6 games remaining before the start of the Big Ten tournament. 2 of the final 6 games include the top 2 teams in the Big Ten, Purdue and Illinois. It's Badgers Hawkeyes, a 1:15 tip on the Big Ten Network this Saturday.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Thanks to Evan Cohen. Always great to catch up with him, and when he's not arguing with Tausch, get his insights. Brian, real quick, and then we'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour. The criticism for Kyle Shanahan, who has been to 2 Super Bowls as a head coach, who was at one infamously as an offensive coordinator under Dan Quinn, And his play calling contributed to a 28-3 lead, disappearing in the second half against the Patriots and losing in overtime under the previous rules. He's getting a lot of criticism, and he fired his defensive coordinator yesterday, which is nice and all, and it changes the subject. But the bottom line is, as much as you may think Steve Wilkes was to blame for them not winning a title, probably Kyle Shanahan had more to blame. And so how do you kind of just view where San Francisco is at? Because that does tie into our discussion about the NFC, because if there is a Super Bowl hangover and now they're changing defensive coordinators and their head coach has failed in a couple of crucial postseason situations and their roster is getting older, maybe the 49ers aren't a team that you're quite as worried about going into 24.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the 49ers right now, like you think, at least I do, right? If your defense gives up only 19 points to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, should win the game, right? Like your offense full of superstars and all pros and this and that, you give up 19 points, doesn't seem like the defense is the problem there, at least to me, right? Like you give up, and I get the Chiefs were down offensively, but it's still only 19 points, and your offense had plenty of opportunities. So firing the D coordinator to me doesn't make any sense. I also saw that they fired Anthony Lynn because he's signed with the Washington Redskins. He's the run game coordinator for the 49ers. Now he's the run game coordinator for the Washington Redskins. Oh, sorry, Washington Commanders. My bad.
Yes.
My bad. I still can't get. I mean, I still say it. I mean,
we're just old.
It's just like,
that's the problem.
Like I did. Yeah, like I don't get over the fact of what I don't know. That was like my first game starting was against the Commanders, or now it was the Redskins. So that's
they weren't the Commanders when you started against them.
Yeah, so like that was my first game starting in the NFL. So like it's kind of how I remember it. But I don't feel like Kyle Shanahan is placing the blame in the proper direction, right? And obviously he's not going to fire himself. I understand that. But from hearing the way that he's kind of coming out and explaining himself, there's not a bunch of self-reflection that he did something wrong in that game. The way he's explaining is that, it was the defense's fault. I'm going to fire that guy. Oh, it was my run game coordinator. I'm going to let him go and let him go to Washington. Analytics told me this. There's a lot of blame being passed around besides on himself, which kind of, if I'm a player on the team and I'm hearing everything else was to blame besides the coach taking responsibility, I'm looking at it as kind of like, hey, man, like, you did X, Y, and Z wrong, right? Like, there was more to this than just analytics and the defense. And the defensive players sure as hell are looking at it like, listen, man, we gave up 19 points in regular time. What more do you want us to do? Like, really, like, what more do you want us to do in a Super Bowl than give up 19 points? So with that roster that, like you said, is aging, and it's going to continue to get more expensive as the years go on in these deals, as the cap numbers go up, as guys like Ayuk, Purdy, probably McCaffrey are going to be asking for new deals. Jennings, the wide receiver, who I thought was the best player for the 49ers in the Super Bowl, probably is going to want a new deal. And defensively, guys are going to, like, obviously they got Bosa done. I think Warner got done a few years ago, but he's probably on a 4-year deal, so he's going to be wanting something new here in the future. Greenlaw, I think, is up soon, so he's going to be wanting something new in the future here. They're a team with some issues. And cap issues are a big thing. And when you have a team that has cap issues and you can't get over that hump when you're in that rookie quarterback contract era and you got all this talent, there's going to be some questions raised about what you're going to look like in the next year or two. And that's San Francisco right now, because they got some questions. Even with as talented as a roster as they had going into that Super Bowl, it's going to be different next year. And the doubt starts to play into this team a little bit is what I think.
No doubt. I agree with you on that. All right, we'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour We got to get to Farmer Bulaga. We got to get to the questions, the football questions, and the agriculture questions for Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Stick around. The 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Tonight, the final game before the NBA All-Star break for the Milwaukee Bucks on the road visiting the Memphis Grizzlies. Tip time is set for 7:30 tonight. Pre-game coverage starts at 7 o'clock right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. ESPN bet listing the Bucks as 11.5-point favorites over the Grizzlies, despite coming off a double-digit loss against the Miami Heat on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, the college basketball programs in the state preparing for a big Saturday, coming off of wins. 4th-ranked Marquette on the road at number 1 UConn Saturday at 2 o'clock. Listen to it on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. 20th-ranked Wisconsin trying to make it back-to-back victories. They go on the road to visit Iowa Saturday afternoon. Tip time set for 1:15. Meanwhile, over at ESPNWisconsin.com, ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky outlines 7 plays that define Jordan Love's breakout season for the Green Bay Packers. Check out that article at ESPNWisconsin.com. Wilde and Bulaga continues next.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends.
The 10 o'clock hour. Wilde and Tausch begins now with our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Bryan Bulaga. All right, so just goes to show, just as evidence of how far, like Jordan Love during his rookie season, how far you've come in your radio career in the short time that you've been an NFL retiree and a radio host. Now you're even dropping unexpected teases at the end of shows, just like that old pro Mark Tauscher. Just like he taught you the ropes in the NFL. Now so we're finishing up the show. And you, after receiving, what's the name of the award you got at Iowa again with the farmer in the title?
American East Farmers, the ANF award, yeah.
Very well deserved. And you took that award to heart because you're becoming a farmer? You mentioned that you bought some land and you're going to hoe the terrain or whatever it is you're going to be doing. Explain to us what you've done here, Farmer Blue.
Yeah. So, Abby and I, where we live, listen, we love it. It's a growing area, but, we wanted to also buy some land out towards the middle of the state a little bit more and get away from all of it and have some acreage and property and opportunity kind of out in the country of Florida. So we close on that mid-March, and it's about 5.5, 6 acres, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And Abby and I are looking to put some animals on it, right? Like some potentially cow, chickens, bunnies. Our neighbors have donkeys. I don't know if I want to go down the donkey line, but And with that, there's a lot of great opportunity for orange trees, banana bushels, and just kind of start doing that out there and just getting that rolling. So it's exciting.
All right. So explain the thought process that leads you to say this is something we want to do. Is this more Abby's idea? Were you legitimately inspired by your award that you received? And by the way, I didn't even realize, I know there were orange groves in Florida. I guess I didn't think of it as a robust farming state. So there are sections of Florida where there are farms, which I just learned.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know kind of where we're out at. It's a big, lot of cattle, big beef and cattle ranches. Obviously, big tomato growers down here. There's a lot of those. It's a big state for tomatoes. And obviously oranges and lemons and things like that. It's a big state for that.
Yeah, grow some grapefruit.
I don't know. Abby's more of the grower with fruits and things like that. You
don't say.
This kind of started probably about 6-7 months ago. I started kind of putting it in Abby's ear. I'm like, I think I want to buy some land, and she was like, well, and I'm like, just kind of out in the middle of the state, let's find something, and never really became anything, right? Like nothing ever came about it, but I always would kind of drop the hint to her. And then probably a few months ago, our good friends bought a piece of property out there, and they told us, hey, we think potentially the neighbors are considering selling their piece of land. And we were like, interesting. So a month went by, and we got word that they were going to list it, and they listed it, and we saw it come up on Zillow or whatever it is, and we went and visited the next day, loved it, put an offer in, and under contract. Wow. Just like that. So it was something that we've been talking about. Oh, and you want to know something? You'll find this funny. Our neighbors who have the donkeys, big Eagles fans. Yeah, the donkeys' names are Jason and Kelsey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because they're big Eagles fans. So Jason and Kelsey are the donkeys' names. Really loud. I mean, gosh dang, are they loud? Yeah, I mean, exactly how you said. Right. That's exactly what they sound like. I mean, it's like an alarm clock going off. But we're excited about it. Obviously, there's a lot of work, which I'm excited about, that needs to be done on property once we close on it. I can't wait to just spend out time out there and start doing what I need to do. Obviously, I am not overly knowledgeable about what it takes to have animals and things like that. So this is going to be a learning experience for me. Fortunately, I got good buddies that kind of do this out here in Florida, that own a bunch of land, that own animals, and do this for a living, that are going to help me out and kind of guide me in the right direction and help me do some things. So I'm excited about it. It's a challenge. The kids are excited about it because they want animals, right? They love animals. My daughter, she wants this cow that's like one of those cows with the long hair. Like, she wants a cow and a goat, but I'm like, goats get out and they're escape artists and they jump on your cars and they eat everything that you don't want them to eat. And it's kind of like, so the chickens, the bunnies, a cow, I think is kind of the way we're looking, but we'll have to see, right? We got to get in there. We got to get our hands dirty and figure out what suits us best and go from there.
All right, 2 more questions, and then we'll move on from Farmer Blue. But I can't wait till you start doing shows from your tractor when Tausch is out. One, you said you've got some Florida buddies, some other Florida men, if you will, that you could talk to about this. But will you consult the most famous farmer in Packers history, your old teammate Jordy Nelson, for any input on this endeavor?
Yeah, well, that's funny because obviously we're not growing crop like, say, he does, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, he's growing crop, which, we're not going to do. But I'm fairly certain he has animals on property, which I would I would take a guess. So Abby has been reaching out to all these people, and I'm pretty sure Emily Nelson will be one that she reaches out to for advice on chickens and things of that nature. I'm very fortunate because my financial advisor lives out in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, and he's got chickens and animals like that. So I've been picking his brain a little bit. I've gone out to his house for a golf tournament and seen his setup. So I kind of understand what he's got going on. So I have people I can talk to and help me out, but at the end of the day, they're just talking to you and you actually have to do it. Right. So yes. that's kind of the thing that makes me a little nervous. But I'm just gonna dive in, right? And there may be people listening going, come on, it's not that hard. And I get it, but when you don't grow up that way, and you I didn't grow up in a farming, family, or we didn't do any of that. So to take on that responsibility and be responsible for animals, obviously I'm an animal guy. I've always had dogs and stuff like that. So you're taking care of animals. It's a responsibility. So. And obviously, kind of out there in the country of Florida, listen, there's predators out there that try to get in. There's coyotes, there's panthers, there's hogs and things that. Where there's things that want to eat animals. So it's a responsibility that you have to be ready for. So, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous, and but I'm just looking forward to it because I think it's a fun thing. I think it'll be something that the kids will really enjoy, that they can get involved in and help out with, and yeah, we don't have enough land to grow crop that I can really call myself a true farmer like Jordy Nelson. I wanted that much land, but the cost of land in Florida right now is it's astronomical. It's crazy. Even out where we're at, which all the development will eventually start pushing out that way, the cost of land, I can't believe it. I looked at 20 acres and I saw the price tag and I'm like, oh no, no, thank you. That's insane. That's crazy. So we're not going to be getting down to that, but from the standpoint of having some food sources and things like that are self-sustaining, I'm excited about it.
All right, so last thing, and then we'll get to your football questions that are lined up. You keep saying we bought this land. Is there infrastructure there? I don't know anything about farming either. Is there a barn or is there a corral for your animals, or are you starting completely from scratch? Are there already orange trees growing there, or are you just got a big wide open space and you and Abby are gonna set up shop?
Yeah, so there is a house. There is a 1,000 square foot barn on it that the previous homeowner built and everything like that. There's a big shed that the previous owner used as his chicken coop. He's converted it now to where he keeps his lawnmowers and stuff like that. So we're going to have to do a lot of retrofitting and building pens and coops and things like that. So there's going to be a process of getting all this set up and doing that. Now, they showed us where they did plant all their orange trees and banana bushels and things like that. So we have a good idea of where things grow and do that. They had a pineapple tree as well, which they said was tough because the squirrels and animals really wanted to eat that, but they start that up again.
Sure.
So they showed us where a lot of stuff kind of went down, but there's a house on it. I didn't want anything extravagant. Like, I didn't need we bought the house. I think the only thing we're going to do to it is paint the inside, and that's about it. Like, repaint, the walls. After that, we're leaving it as is. There's a couple of adjustments that we need to make to the property. Like, I'm obviously, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to add a generator to it just in case power goes out, because this is the first time I've ever been on a well and septic system. If the well isn't working, you don't have any water at the property, so you kind of need that to work. You need power at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's certain things that I'm having to get adjusted to that I've never had to really worry about. So, it's exciting. It's exciting. We got to clear out some more trees and some more, bring dirt into some areas to raise some levels and get some grass to grow in other areas so that animals we do get have some food to eat. And, so yeah, it's going to be a process, but we're going to get there. And I'm excited about it. New adventures.
There's no doubt this is an adventure. We look forward to, I know Jordy brought all the wide receivers once down to the farm, and they all hung out there and tended to his crops and stuff. So I look forward to Tausch and I coming down there to the farm and then going to the Citrus Bowl, and maybe Iowa will be playing in it and they won't get shut out. All right, we need to get to some of your football questions. If you also have farming tips, feel free to include those in your text as well. 844.
Please do. Yeah.
3776. Questions for Doctor of Football, and definitely not Doctor of Farming at this point, or Doctor of Donkey Racing. Bryan Bulaga. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent-resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Cozy up your home with fresh cabinets from SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. SprayNet knows that the kitchen is the heart of your home. Let them help you fall in love with it again. Quicker and more affordable than replacing your cabinets, SprayNet can have your kitchen cabinets looking like the day you first saw them. Their exclusive painting technology and technique will have your kitchen transformed in less than a week. Schedule an appointment today with Dale, the owner of SprayNet of Southern Wisconsin. Go to spraynet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Here in Wisconsin, we love our sports year-round, right down to the Packers games in the Lambeau snow. If you want to show your love for the green and gold every day, you got it with Associated Bank's exclusive Packers checking account. A one-of-a-kind debit card, a 10% discount at the Packers Pro Shop, plus everything you'll score as an Associated Bank customer. Best of all, you'll get a banking partner based right here in the Midwest. Visit AssociatedBank.com/Packers to get started today. You've got this with Associated Bank. Member FDIC.
Jump into leap year savings at Metro Ford of Madison. Leap into a 2023 Ford F-150 at just 1.9% APR financing for 70 months. $14.71 per thousand borrowed, excludes Lightning and Raptor models. It's also the month of love at Metro Ford. You'll love a 2023 Escape for 0.9% APR financing for 66 months and $2,000 in Ford Flex cash. $15.54 per thousand borrowed. Offers good to qualified credit and ends February 29th. Hurry in to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Life has its moments, times to remember and share. Make the most of those special occasions by visiting Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street. John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. We're here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. When you think of diamonds, you hear about color, cut, clarity, and carat weight. We can help you understand that, but we're equally concerned with earning your trust with the quality of our selection and our service. Goodman'sJewelers.com, in the heart of downtown Madison. Truly a destination worth reaching.
They say love is a universal language. Well, that's definitely true if you're talking about bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Forget the chocolates. Give the gift of bacon. It's everyone's love language. And you're going to love it that our bacon's on sale right now. With quick hot savings, we're taking bacon down to $2.49 a 12-ounce pack. Limit 2. Savings on bacon? Whoa, that's 2 love languages at once. And we're multilingual like that. Quick Trip. We're saving your bacon.
NBA All-Star Weekend on ESPN Radio.
3, go!
The 73rd NBA All-Star Game.
Luka Doncic just won it!
Coverage begins Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Presented by Indeed.
Jesse has been inundated with football questions for Farmer Bryan. So let's get to one here so we can get somewhat back on the clock, and then we'll get to more of your questions that you've submitted for Bryan coming up as the show rolls on. Jesse, what is your number one power-ranked question in your list of questions for Bryan?
Screen passes.
Well, that sounds exciting.
It's actually interesting, I think. From Eric in Milwaukee, this is one that rolled in yesterday for us. What makes a team good at screenplays? With the exception of maybe one or two, it seemed like the green and gold were really bad at it all year. Why?
Yeah, so a good screen team, obviously, it starts with the timing of the screens, right? So the offensive linemen have to be really good at the timing, and that isn't just like that they're out in front of the running back in time, but it's timing with when you're blocking the D linemen and releasing them to make them feel like they beat you in the rush, and they don't retrace their steps and get into the screen, become an issue. So the linemen have to do a good job of selling that it's a pass block that they got beat. You just can't show your hands and let the D lineman beat you, because they'll know something's up and they'll follow the back, and the screen will get blown up. The second part that I always found Green Bay struggling with at screens was the tackles. They let the DN beat them too quick, which then rushes the quarterback on the screen. Just because it's a screen doesn't mean it's a free play for the tackles to get beat by the defensive end, right? They have to block the defensive end. They have to get them upfield. I get that. But you can't give up a short edge where the D end is getting his hands in the quarterback's face and he can't make an accurate throw on the screen. So the tackles need to be better, and then the inside timing of the inside three needs to be better, not only with getting out in space on time, but also with the way they sell the pass to the D linemen and then get those D linemen to rush upfield hard and get out in the screen. So there's a couple things that go with it, but it takes practice. I think it should be a big part of their game, especially as the pass game continues to improve and Jordan Love starts to get more respect from defenses that are dropping out into zones more. That screen game will open up.
Bryan, would you agree that they weren't very good at it this season?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to write home about it. You know what I mean? Like, they might have had a couple that went for decent yardage, but nothing that really that stood out like, hey, they're really good at this part of their game. Like, which it's a simple part to be good at, but it takes time and effort and practice and reps to be good at it. So, I mean, I know in my time there, we were never really good at it because we didn't practice. Like, Aaron would rather take the chance of him dropping back and throwing it than him having to dump it down to a running back and, risk it. And the thing is, Aaron, a lot of the times on these screen plays, we'd be running a screen and he would check a receiver to a route and he would throw the route instead of the screen. Right. Because it would be open. So, like, he wouldn't even throw the screen, and lineman would be trying to get out into a screen, and he'd be throwing a 10-yard route to a tight end or whoever up the middle because, it was open because the linebacker started to read screen and came flying up. So we just never were really good at it. But that's the way it goes, right? Like, you're either good at it or you're not. There's really no in between. There's some teams that do it really well, and then some teams like Green Bay was this year that just aren't good at it.
And the teams that do it well you've got a finite amount of practice time, and they invest more time in it because they want to make it a priority, and other teams don't. We'll get to more of your questions for Bryan in part 2 of our Q&A, and keep them coming. You can text them into Jesse. Jesse's curating them, 844-770-3776. I want to remind you again, I always tell you this. I hope I never have to make one call, that's all. I hope I never have to call David and the Gruber Law Office's team because I need their legal advice because I've been seriously injured. But it's reassuring to know that they are there with those 35 years of experience and their knowledge of the system and everything that you need so your case can be successful. So go to gruber-law.com if you do need their help and check out all the information about their lawyers, about their history as a firm, about what they do in the community, or give them that call if you need them. One call, that's all, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. More questions for Bryan next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Jesse Nelson here to tell you about Hansen & Sons. They've been Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist for 71 years. And when Becca and I moved into our house a year and a half ago, we had this fireplace. We're like, okay, what are we going to do with this? We want to keep it. We want to get rid of it. Well, now we're thinking about upgrading it. And now through the end of February, save 7.1% on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or expert winter masonry chimney repairs with Hansen & Sons. Take advantage of huge, never-before-offered savings and replace the old, inefficient, dirty, wood-burning fireplace you have at home like we do with a new high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Don't wait. The sale ends on February 29th, Leap Day. Got until then. Go to HansenandSons.com, HANSEN and Sons.com, or give them a call for more information. 608-258-5844. That's 608-258-5844. Hansen & Sons.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Abram Mueller from Madison West High School. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You like the city of Madison. It's tremendous, the swimming community. You were how old?
I was 4 years old. Hill Farm Swim Club for the past 14 years plus. I've just been going down there every morning in the summer and swimming all day long.
And you won one state title, and that was a state record.
Yep. Last year I swam the 100 breaststroke. It was a 2-second drop for me. It was a big lifetime best.
You signed to go to Stanford.
Yes. June after my sophomore year, the coaches reached out to me and started recruiting me. I liked every part of the school that I heard from them, and then I got the chance to meet the guys on the team and see the campus, go to some of the classes. I loved every part of it. I knew then that that's where I wanted to go to school. I'm super excited to see what I can do, both in the classroom there and in the pool.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher?
cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
If you're in the market for a new wedding band or thinking of replacing an old one, you won't want to miss our annual Wedding Band Trunk Show.
We have the largest selections of men's and women's wedding bands in Dane County.
You'll see all the latest trends, 3 days only,
February 16th, 17th, and 18th.
at our downtown Madison location and at our Middleton location.
You need to come to our Wedding Band Trunk Show.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2024 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for details and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires February 24th, 2024. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimbrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
An SEC showdown in Tuscaloosa. Texas A&M looks for a critical resume-building road win when they face 16th-ranked Alabama, who is fighting for the top of the SEC. Coverage begins Saturday morning at 11:30 Eastern. Presented by Robinhood.
If you're not watching on the video stream, that's okay. We're glad you're listening, but it is fun when we have a few different things going on the video stream. One of them is, and Jesse, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote this, especially if you're on the call, but even if you're not. The Fighting Rob Domofsky's, the De Pere Redbirds, have a big game, and we know Rob, his oldest son, now plays at Lawrence University. His younger son is on the varsity now at De Pere, and we are calling their game. We're airing one of their games on our airwaves.
We are, yeah. Don't know if Tomovsky's going to join the broadcast yet. Alex Strofe and Dennis Semrau will have the call Saturday night.
So our A crew.
The A crew is in on Saturday night in Pewaukee. Yes, De Pere and Pewaukee. Pewaukee's won 3 straight Division II state championships, boys basketball. De Pere, the reigning champs in D1, number 1 versus number 2 in their rank. It's a huge game, probably the game of the year in Wisconsin high school basketball, and we're happy that we're going to be able to be in Pewaukee and be part of it. So looking forward to bringing it to you.
Awesome.
YouTube video stream on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel Saturday night, too.
We look forward to that.
That's great. That's fantastic that the high school kids are getting that platform. That's really cool. Like, honestly, like that's awesome.
Can we?
And it's not just because it's not because of Domofsky, right? Like it's not. You guys aren't like doing him a favor.
Domofsky gave us a small fortune to make sure that we were there at that game on Saturday.
Very small. Yeah. Very small.
He didn't want to drive down to Pewaukee, so he said, "Hey, can you guys do this?"
So if he's there, do we have a third headset, or is he so obviously biased toward the Redbirds that you wouldn't even? You're in charge of this operation. You're the boss, Jesse. Would you allow him to come on as a guest like pregame or at halftime, or you want to keep his Redbird bias off the airwaves?
Yeah, there's a rich history, Jason, of Packers news breaking at halftime of high school boys basketball games, or high school basketball. It was the girls' basketball tournament where Mark Murphy last year let everybody know that Aaron Rodgers probably wouldn't be coming back to Titletown. So, yeah, if Domofsky wants to break some news with us Saturday night, good news window to share some big news if he has any developments come our way, the headset will be available for him.
All right.
I think we'll keep him away from the game itself, though. Like, we don't want too biased of an opinion on the call. We're a neutral broadcast on
Of course you
Saturday
are. Yes.
night.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get to some more questions for Blue. What? Wait a minute. What? I know you call Jason Wallers, the PR director, Jason Whalers. Is Blue come from a mispronunciation of your last name? Because Tausch calls you that. That's all he calls you is Blue.
Yeah, they started that my rookie year at Tausch, dude. Like, from old school, you're my boy Blue, because Bulaga.
Okay.
So that's where Tausch came up with that my rookie year, and it's just stuck. Some guys called me Blue. Some guys called me Bull. Some guys just called me Bulaga. So like I had a bunch of different nicknames, so to speak, which I always thought was a compliment. So
yeah, you're well liked. You don't give nicknames to people you don't like.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I don't have a nickname. Although I do have Jay Bird, I guess. By the way, what would you rather have, Blue or the nickname that Aaron Rodgers bestowed on one Mark Tauscher, Cat Pig? Which would you prefer?
I remember that nickname. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I'll take mine. I will take mine.
I think it became CP later, which probably was for the best. All right, Jesse, let's get to another question for Bryan.
This one is from Jim in the Berg, which I assume is Cedarburg. I guess it could be Reedsburg or any of the other
Pittsburgh.
Burgs. It could be, if we want to. I guess
we're big in Pittsburgh.
We are big in Pittsburgh. National show. Does Bryan believe that Goody will go out and find some offensive players to help Jordan Love in the offseason? Breaking from the mold of what is typical in Green Bay because it's helping his guy, does he do it? And if so, what position does he think he'll find in free agency?
Good question.
Yeah, so this is a good question, and it's kind of what we talked about with Evan, right? Like earlier in the show. I'm not sure the money this offseason is going to be going towards the offense, right? So let's go through the offense really quick. Obviously, no at quarterback. The running back position, obviously, Dylan's a free agent. Aaron Jones is in a contract, but there's a big money tied to it this year, if I'm correct, right, Jason?
Yeah, he's looking at a $17 million cap number, so they have to do something with that.
Yeah, so they got to do something with it. So you could look at running back in free agency, all right? There's the one position. Tight end, I think we like our tight ends, right? Like we feel good about the tight end position. Wide receiver, maybe you add a veteran. Maybe you add a low-cost veteran that's out there to add to this young group just to kind of help out. But that's a maybe, right? And then the offensive line is where I get to on offense. And offensive players, I think he's looking at skill positions, and that's not where I'm looking at. I'm looking at the offensive line. So we know Runyan's gone. Sean Ryan's going to step in there. That's a no-brainer, right? So that's going to happen. We like Elton at left guard. We like Zach Tom at right tackle. We like Myers at center. He's obviously in his last year of his deal, so he's going to be there. Then we look at left tackle. I thought Walker played well down the stretch. Now, he had to kind of get pushed a little bit to get to that level throughout the season with the competition with Yash. Obviously, Yash is a free agent, so now we're losing depth, and Runyan's gone as well. So now we got to look at, are we going to be bringing in veteran depth for this offensive line? Because we still look at left tackle. And left tackle to me, which we don't know what's happening with Dave Bakhtiari because he's still technically under contract with the Green Bay Packers right now. He is under contract, and we don't know which direction they're going to go with that. If Dave comes back healthy and the Packers rework that contract that is beneficial to the team, right, and there's a bunch of playtime incentives involved in it, and you can bring him back on a cheap deal that is a bonus laid for him, that if he plays, he gets more money. If he doesn't, the Packers save a bunch of money on the back end. And then you still have Rashid. You have Walker.
Right. And Zach, and you know what, you've gotten Zach Tom. So that is certainly a positive. I would say this, though, and I'm glad you took it to the offensive line, because other than running back, where you're either replacing A.J. Dillon or you're bringing him back on a low-money deal and bringing back Aaron Jones, you have to – I don't think Emmanuel Wilson is probably the answer there. I think he's an interesting guy that you want to see if maybe he's got more than you think. But are they willing to invest a high pick at running back? And more importantly, when they drafted you – yeah, Cliffy and Tausch were not young anymore, right? And you end up replacing Tausch because of his injury during the Super Bowl season. But if you don't have David Bakhtiari on your team, I know you feel good about Zach Tom, and he is a starter no matter where you want to play him. And they're still looking at him as a 5-position starter, by the way. Goody said that. Yeah. I don't feel great. I don't feel good enough about a former 7th-round pick to say if there's a really good tackle at 25, we don't need him. That, to me, if you have because I was reading stuff about you yesterday when I was looking for pictures of you as a farmer, and I came across, like, the Chiefs thought there was a story that, like, a Chiefs website wrote, thinking that you might be their pick at 5.
Yeah.
And the Packers were lucky that you lasted as long as you did to get to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I look at it in the same way. Like, I had no idea that I would be going to Green Bay. I think Green Bay looked at it as I fell to them, and I was a guy that would fit their system. And it was not a pressing need, but it was a need that they would know they would need in the future. And I would end up, like you said, I ended up starting. But if they have a tackle fall to them at 25 that they really like, I don't know why you don't draft him. Right? Like, I don't understand the thought process of passing on a tackle and just taking a defensive player because you think you need defense. Like, I look at this, and the thing is, the Packers are really smart with that. Like, I've always thought that they're very smart. They claim they draft on best available, which you look at recent drafts, maybe that's not the case. Mm-hmm. You know, they've addressed need. But if they truly do best available and a tackle's there, I think they have to take them. I think they have to.
Yeah.
Because why not, right? Because then you create depth, you create competition for that left tackle position, and maybe they don't want to bring back Dave, which, hey, I don't know the way that's going to work out. But then you feel better about having Walker and, say, a new rookie in there. I'll say it, and I've said it, I'm pro Dave Bakhtiari because I think a healthy Bakhtiari is still one of the best left tackles in the league, right? But the caveat is he healthy? Because if you could bring back Dave healthy, that offensive line looks really good. So, But if you don't want to go with Dave and there's a tackle there at 25 and you draft him and he gets a year to truly develop behind Walker and maybe pushes him for that starting job, you feel really good about the offensive line then in the depth, right? And then maybe you take a couple late-round offensive linemen for those guard spots to be depth there, and you're good about it. And then you can use those second-round picks and third-round picks that you've acquired for defensive players. And I guess that's the way I view it. But obviously the tackle has to be there, a tackle that you like, because a lot of these days, like good tackles, it's hard to find late in the draft. Mm-hmm. Normally the really good tackles are gone early. Like, I get it, and there's always outliers. There's good players.
Like Zach Tom is an outlier.
Yes, there's always good players that get picked late in rounds. I understand that. Like, well, Brian, there's other good players besides. Yes, I do know that. But if you're taking a guy in the first round, you expect him to be like a 10-year player. That's normally the expectation for first-round picks, is you expect them to be a 10-year player for you. So that's the way I view it. But we'll see what Goody does. I mean, listen, I trust Goody with building this roster, so I know he's going to do everything he can to make it better. I know a lot of people question that early in the season. I think he proved a lot of people wrong with the way the talent turned around and performed. So I only expect Goody to make the team, better in this offseason. And whether that's through free agency or just drafting guys or retaining guys or whatever, he'll make the team better.
Although his track record on defensive players is a little suspect. I'll say it. I I hope David is back. I've got too many guys that are now retirees like yourself or playing elsewhere. He's one of my guys. I don't think they're bringing him back. My gut tells me that they're done with him, and I hate to say that, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. All right, let's get to trivia, where I hope we get all 3 questions right. Today's category, in honor of Bryan being back for a second day with us, we did Wisconsin geography trivia Wednesday ×2 yesterday. Today, is this heaven? No. It's Iowa trivia. Caller number 12. That's 7 plus 5, his Packers number. Caller 12, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We shall play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honey's to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honey's experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. To apply today, go to stojobs.com. The 20th ranked Wisconsin men's basketball team got back on track Tuesday night with a win over Ohio State at the Kohl Center, snapping a 4-game losing streak. The Badgers look to stack back-to-back wins for the first time in the month of February Saturday afternoon as they head to take on Iowa. The Badgers are in 3rd place in the Big Ten with a 9-5 record in conference play, with just 6 games remaining before the start of the Big Ten tournament. 2 of the final 6 games include the top 2 teams in the Big Ten, Purdue and Illinois. It's Badgers Hawkeyes, a 1:15 tip on the Big Ten Network this Saturday.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Spring will be here before you know it, and so will Mark Osiki's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 18th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. Created to help children who are fighting cancer at American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. There's a limit of 80 boats for a fun day on the water before 2:30 happy hour at Alliant Energy Center, a silent auction, dinner, and a live auction at 4 o'clock. Help us help the kids. Casting for Kids, Saturday, May 18th. Sign up or donate at castingforkids.org.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean?
Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
We're on the Packers.
If I had to pick a sneaky flyer to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl next year, I would go to Green Bay. They're going to get better and better.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm one less day from dying young. I see the light go past my shoulder. I'm one less day from dying young, and I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm one less day from dying.
Before we get to our contestant, refresh my memory, Jesse. When Brian is actually taking part in trivia, which he did yesterday, sort of. He was kind of the agree or disagree guy. But he's asking a question. Didn't he, add a question last time or something?
Yeah, he went rogue on us last time.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in response to you taking a shot with one of your questions at his alma mater.
I mean, it's easy sometimes.
I hope you didn't do that
funny.
again.
Ugh. No.
Well, you'll see.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's welcome in our contestant. It is Jeff in Monroe. Jeff, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy birthday, Jason.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again on the pending nuptials for your son and our adopted daughter, who we love very much, and we look forward to their happy life together. We also look forward to 3 correct answers in Is This Heaven? No, It's Iowa trivia.
Can I tell you guys something real quick before we go with Jeff here? Because Jeff,
I was going to let you get away with doing some malfeasance and not bring it up, but now you feel compelled to do it, so go right ahead.
So Jeff was actually caller 13.
Oh, boy. What does it say on ESPN WisconsinContest.com about what you're about to confess to?
I mean, this was a first. Scuba Chad was caller 12. And we know how legendary Scuba Chad likes to get in the way of our operation around here.
It's true.
I say, congratulations, you're caller 12. What's your name? Usual protocol. Scuba Chad on the other. Hey, it's Scuba Chad. I don't actually want to play today because Tausch isn't there. I like giving him a hard time. I just wanted to know if I could get in as caller 12. What are you doing, Chad? Get out of the way.
What a jackwagon. That's old Scuba Chad. That's why we love him. All right, well, I'm glad. I would much rather, no offense, Chad, but I'd much rather have our contestant be Jeff in Monroe, so I'm glad that that's the case. All right, here we go, Jeff. Question 1. What is the capital of Iowa? Is it Des Moines, Ames, or Puntington Beach?
Des Moines.
Already, shots fired with question 1 already.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Huntington Beach, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, question 2. Which of these college football head coaches has had the shortest tenure as head coach at his current school? Kirk Ferentz, Iowa. Kyle Whittingham, Utah. James Franklin, Penn State.
James Franklin.
Very good. Jeff is really good at trivia.
He's pretty good.
He's really good. All right. Question number 3.
Did you know James Franklin's been at Penn State for 10 years now?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember when he was the Packers wide receivers coach for a year. And he was one of those guys, Brian's seen him. All they're about is working to get the next job. That's all they're focused on. Yep, there's plenty of those guys throughout the league. All right, opportunity for a clean sweep here. Jeff, question 3 is this. How many total points did the Iowa Hawkeyes score in their final 2 games of the 2023 season? the Big Ten Championship against Michigan, and the Citrus Bowl against Tennessee. Combined in those two games, did the Hawkeyes score 0 points, 3 points, or 10 points?
Oh, man, this really is a shot. Was it 3? I'm going to say 3.
One of those answers is correct.
This is what you get for trying to be somewhat nice, I guess. No, they scored no points whatsoever. 0, zilch, nada, zippo. No points scored. So Bryan Bulaga, by choosing, after planning on going to the Citrus Bowl, to not go to the Citrus Bowl, saw the same number of points scored by his alma mater as if he had been there, which is 0.
It's true. True.
You did not get 0 correct. You got 2 correct out of the 3. So, Jeff, you've got 3 of the possible 4 entries into the Friday drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks a lot. You guys have a good day.
That was I just not necessary. But again,
absolutely not necessary.
Tausch likes to say that Jesse's afraid of me, and I don't think it's true. I think he's more afraid of Tausch, but he's clearly not afraid of you. You're all the way in Florida. What are you going to do about this?
It's a fun fact. Like, two biggest games
for
of the
who?
year. Yeah, well, Tennessee had a good time. Michigan won the chip.
I mean, it's just so funny that Jesse decides to get after Iowa when Wisconsin was pathetic this year. I just find it, it's just funny. Like,
hey,
I just don't understand.
Farmer Blue. Hey, one team in year one of a transition with the hottest coaching commodity that was on the market last year. The other team has had their coach as the longest tenured head coach in program history and has been running this thing every year for forever.
All right, I'm going to step in and put a stop to this right here, right now.
And they won the Big Ten West. They won the Big Ten West. Well, I don't know what you want to say.
And I like Kirk Ferentz. I have his phone number, and he butt dials me from time to time because he's kind of old. All right.
Yes.
I thought maybe Jesse was going to say that Iowa scored in their final 2 games the same number of points that the Bradley football team scored.
Yeah.
Because the Bradley University does not have a football team.
I was contemplating between that question or how many times did Iowa score 24 points in the entire 14 games they played this year?
And the answer was
2.
I'll save that for the next time Brian's on. All right, we need to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. Want to remind you that you can take it to the bank with Associated Bank. They are my bank, and they have been great to us. Paula, the girls, and I were so happy we made the switch many years ago. They have the best customer service in the industry. You don't have to be a Packers fan to bank there, but if you are, you can get Packers checking. Get your Packers debit MasterCard. You get 10% off the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online, and you get the great customer service and all the great perks that come with being an Associated Bank customer. So go to AssociatedBank.com/Packers to find out more. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour late in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania. Wisconsin commit Zach Kinzinger and the De Pere Redbirds visit Nebraska commit Nick Janowski and the Pewaukee Pirates. The battle of the defending state champions tips Saturday at 6 o'clock. on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Milwaukee Bucks play their final game of the first half of the NBA's regular season tonight, visiting the Memphis Grizzlies. Tip time set for 7:30, nationally televised on TNT. Pre-game coverage starts at 7 o'clock right here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Despite coming off a big loss to the Miami Heat at home on Tuesday night, Milwaukee listed as an 11.5-point favorite for tonight's game, according to ESPN Bet. Meanwhile, college basketball, 2 big games for the teams in the state on Saturday. 4th-ranked Marquette at number 1 UConn, Saturday at 2 o'clock. Listen to it on our sister station, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. 20th-ranked Wisconsin on the road at Iowa. Tip time for that game Saturday afternoon is set for 1:15. And football over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Rob Domofsky outlines the 7 plays that turned Jordan Love's season around in 2023.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin sub, sweet better. So you got a lot going on, right? You got your member guest golf tournament at your club that you're getting ready for. You're hitting the simulator. You're buying land in the middle of nowhere in Florida to become a donkey farmer and an orange grove owner. But on top of all that, you're coaching flag football. You got so much on your plate. And yet, you've also decided to come back to our fair state and go on the tailgate tour all around Wisconsin, which will include, and this is in April, a stop in Tausch and Jesse's town of Sun Prairie. Had you known that Tauschville and Nelsonville was on the list, would you have still agreed to do this?
Yeah, it's I would have agreed still, but I remember when I was playing, they asked me once to do it, and I said no. I mean, when you're playing and it's the off season, you kind of want to, I don't know, enjoy your off season as much as you can before you start up again. And I got asked this year, and since I had never done it, I wanted to experience it, enjoy it, and have fun with it. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. There's a lot of guys that I played with that are going. Obviously, Kenny, Elton. I get to talk ball with Walker, which is great. I think that's going to be fun. Yeah, I think that's going to be really fun for me. So Mike Daniels is going. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure he's still the same personality as he's always been, so that'll be exciting.
Laid back, quiet, reserved is what you mean that
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Not very excitable all the time. That type of personality. And then a person that I haven't seen forever, Alex Green, who was drafted the same year as I was. That'll be exciting. I think he was drafted the same year I was, right? Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Same draft?
I believe so.
Yeah. So that'll be exciting to catch up with him and see what he's been up to. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. So even though I'm going to Tausch and Jesseville.
So the tailgate tour runs April 9th through the 13th, and as Bryan mentioned, Elton Jenkins, Kenny Clark, Rasheed Walker, Bryan Bulaga, Mike Daniels, Alex Green, Mark Murphy will all be on the tour, and it will visit Kenosha, Beloit, Platteville, and Sun Prairie
went to school.
to close it out. What?
Yeah.
What?
My brother
He's
my
a
brother
pioneer?
went to Yeah, he went to Platteville. He pitched there, played baseball. Yeah.
We got to get the Chippewa Falls.
All right. Well, we look forward to this. We did, once we saw the announcement that A, it was coming to Sun Prairie, and B, you were on it, we started hatching plans. So we need to work on exactly what we're going to do. But you've got a lot of responsibilities. Tausch has been on this. He enjoyed it. But you've got, you got a lot of stops, and you're raising money for charities. So you've got your work cut out. You can't just goof around like you do when you're on this here radio show. You got responsibilities, man.
I know. I heard it's a big deal. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Like, the thing that I always I've heard it's changed since when I was playing. It'd be a lot of autographs and things like that. I heard it's changed. Now it's more interaction with kids at school, or these pop-up events that we show up to, or raising money for charities. So I'm excited about that because, listen, I have no problem signing autographs, but if you just go from stop to stop, sit at a table, and sign items, it gets a little old. You know what I mean? That's really what we're going around the state to do, is just sign autographs. That's not really fun. Being able to interact with people and stop at these schools and play a game of kickball with kids or a game of dodgeball and be able to interact with them and let them meet, Packers players that they may never get the opportunity to even go to a practice or a game and be able to talk with them. Because I could imagine, when I was growing up, especially at a young age, if the Chicago Bears came to my school and just hung out for an hour, that would have been really cool, even though I wasn't a Bears fan, but having NFL players and former NFL players just come hang out at your school for a little bit would have been awesome. That's stuff you remember for the rest of your life. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. And like I said, it's a good group of guys that are going. Obviously I played with Kenny and played with Elton, played with Mike Daniels and Alex Green. So a lot of guys that I played with, which will be fun.
We'll get to more of our questions for Bryan because you can't wait until he goes on the tailgate tour to ask him. So we'll get to those coming up next. Then we'll do some Whoa Nelly as well. Want to remind you that the Steinhafels President's Day mattress sale is the best time to save big on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress. You can save up to $300 and pay only $46 a month for a queen Tempur-Pedic mattress when you use Steinhafel's 60-month financing. Plus, save $200 more when you upgrade to an adjustable base set. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by supporting the body as no other mattress can. The President's Day mattress sale. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Steinhafels, your mattress destination. We'll get to more of your questions for Blue next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
What does it take to make a diamond? Extreme heat and pressure and about 1 billion years. But you can't wait that long. What do? You go to Goodman's Jewelers. I'm John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. There's a reason we are the Diamond Store of Madison. Since 1933, we provided outstanding service and selection to our customers, and that in turn has helped to establish countless great memories through the years. Goodman'sJewelers.com, located at 220 State Street, truly a destination worth reaching.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers. With positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Spring will be here before you know it, and so will Marco Sicchi's 6th annual Casting for Kids Fishing Tournament, Saturday, May 18th on the Madison Chain of Lakes. Created to help children who are fighting cancer at American Family Children's Hospital, UW Carbone Cancer Center. There's a limit of 80 boats for a fun day on the water before 2:30 happy hour at Alliant Energy Center, a silent auction, dinner, and a live auction at 4 o'clock. Help us help the kids. Casting for Kids, Saturday, May 18th. Sign up or donate at castingforkids.org.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I was left to my own devices. Many days fell away with nothing to show, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds all over the hills, bringing darkness from above.
Brian, before you start farming or growing oranges or whatever it is you're going to be doing, and before we ask you more questions, do you have is there anything that you wish you were better at than you are? Like, is there something that in your everyday life, you were a fantastic football player. You become very good very quickly on the radio. But is there something a skill that you wish you had that you were better at?
Yeah, if it were me thinking like outside the box, like an easy answer would be I wish I was better at golf. I was a scratch golfer, but that's not it. Because not being great at golf keeps me striving to keep doing it and keep wanting to do it and keep coming back and keep playing. The thing that I wish I was better at, just being handy, right? Like fixing things, making things, being able to just do stuff around the house without having to call like a handyman or someone like that, just knowing how to do it, right? Like electrical, plumbing, like all the landscaping work, just like being able to do all that, having the knowledge to just get it done myself. I don't need to call anyone. Like, I'll go buy the part and fix it myself. Like, I don't have that. Like, my dad's like that. Abby's dad, who obviously, I'm sure he passed away a few months ago. he was that way. He could fix anything. Like I said, my dad's that way. So, I just didn't get that gene passed to me. I don't know why, but like I just don't have it. I just don't have it. Like my dad will try to explain stuff, and obviously Kurt, when he was here, he would try to explain stuff to me, and I would just be like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to do it," because like I don't know what you're talking about. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So you can explain it to me as much as you want, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna know how to do it. So that would be the one thing, like more handy.
Yeah, I don't have that gene either. I wish I did. Like Gabe Neitzel's dad, we have an issue with one of the lights in our basement. We've got like this little turf area for the girls for when they're working on soccer or whatever in our basement, and the lights won't stay on. And he says it's a really simple fix. Well, he's an electrician. So Gabe's dad is going to take care of it. I'm like, what? The lights keep going off. What do I do? So I do wish I had that. Also, I wish I was a better Photoshopper, because I have spent the last hour every commercial break trying to put together you, a donkey, and an orange grove, and I finally finished. But Jesse's like, hey, do you want to do the rest of the show? Because I went through the commercial break, and I was still Photoshopping, because I'm not good at it. I wish I was, because it's fun if you could do that.
I have no idea how to do. Yeah, I have no idea how to do that stuff either. Like that's Abby. Like she knows how to do that stuff. I have no idea how to like crop pictures, and like I have no clue what I'm doing. Like,
all right, well then you're gonna have to get Abby to grade my photoshopping of putting you and your donkey, who I think you should name Tausch, on your orange grove.
Can we talk about this for a minute?
Sure,
oh,
of course
there we go.
Can. What's wrong with that?
The donkey's in a suspect place. The donkey is in a suspect place.
I would be lying. I would be lying if I said that I didn't align him the way I did on purpose.
I mean, between Jesse's questioning and the trivia and this, it's a little. This is like kind of turning into an attack show. I mean, my goodness.
So, you got any questions for Bryan? I told you I need to get better at photoshopping. I'm going to tweet this out.
That's as good a digi-only as anything we've done.
Jesse, how about some football questions?
Yeah, Dennis and Beaufort. Bryan, it seems to me that offensive linemen and defensive linemen, football guys, are so well-rounded and smart about the ins and outs of football. This is the Wilde. He's buttering you up.
Yeah.
Why aren't there more former offensive line and defensive line head coaches?
It's actually a really good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. And, you know, I don't know. I think the thought process around the league is that, right, it's a quarterback-driven league, and a lot of guys that have worked with quarterbacks are the ones more suited to be offensive play callers and head coaches because everything is so built around the quarterback. So he knows how to manage the most important position on a team, so he must be able to manage everyone else on the team. And they have the most knowledge because they help the quarterback run the offense or call the plays or whatnot. So it's just assumed that those guys are the right fit for it. Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong because, like, listen, there's a lot of good coaches that are in the league right now that are with quarterbacks and things like that. So I'm not saying that that's not true, but I think the O-line coaches, you know, like Andy Reid was an O-line coach, right? If I'm
He was, although then he coached tight ends, and then he coached quarterbacks, and then he got a job.
Yeah, and then he got the job, like being the quarterback coach.
Your guy Campy. I would say, do you think James Campen, who, you know, I think he's 60-ish by now, so the window in this league where they don't necessarily have an interest in older coaches as head coaches has closed, but you telling me that James Campen couldn't have been a head coach in the NFL? I'll fight you if you try to tell me that.
He definitely could have. Because like the thing that I think a guy like him would have done, because he, the offensive line, those coaches have to deal with the most guys and get the most guys to be on the same page at once, right? Like, you have 5 guys on the field all the time. They stay out there, and you have to manage them and all the personalities to get them to work together and on the same page. And it's a tough job. So you're telling me that a guy like James Campen couldn't delegate and coordinate a coaching staff and, get a team to come together to play together and work as a team? That's crazy. He definitely would be able to do that. And he's been around so long that he knows good people to put in the right positions. If, say, he didn't want to call plays or whatever it may be, find a good play caller, find a good defensive coordinator. Like, he could do, like, I'm not saying taking a shot at Mike Tomlin, but, like, that's what Mike Tomlin does. Like, Mike Tomlin delegates really well, right? Like, he doesn't call plays on offense. I don't think he calls plays on defense. He may do some special teams things, but – like, he delegates really well. And that's why he's been around a long time, because he finds good people to put in these positions that, obviously, lately the offense has been a little bit of a struggle. But you know what I mean? Like, he's been around a long time because he's found good people to put in place. And I feel like James Campen could easily do that, and he would be a coach that guys would want to play for because he's such a good guy. And he relates to guys so well, and he cares about guys so much that you want to go out there and play for him. So I don't know why those guys don't get as many opportunities. Maybe because the thought process, like, that they don't know enough about the quarterback play or about the receiver play or the D-line play, or, like, they don't have that knowledge. But I can assure you that just because Kyle Shanahan knows how to call plays doesn't mean he knows the ins and outs of O-line play or knows the ins and outs of linebacker play. He finds the right guys to make sure that those positions know what they're doing, the right D coordinator, the right linebackers coach, the right offensive line coach, all that. Like, you find the people to put in those positions to make it work. And that's the way I would hope that more line coaches get opportunities, but it just doesn't happen that way. And D-line coaches, it just doesn't work out that way.
It doesn't. Jesse, you got another one for Bryan?
I do. One last one here from Don in Mayville, although this is more argumentative. It's like Tausch is here asking a question.
Uh-oh.
Bryan, you said the Packers are okay at center yesterday. I think they need competition at center. Otherwise, Zach Tom could be forced to move there due to injury or poor play. They need a player to play center or multiple line positions. Your response?
Yes. Listen, like, I do think they're okay at center. And, and that's okay that they do bring in competition to push Myers. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with competition. I think that's good. I think that makes guys play better and push themselves. I just don't think you're going to bring in a center that's going to push Myers to the point of replacing him. I just don't, especially in the last year of his deal, because he's going to be motivated, right? Like, guys on contract years normally end up playing really well because they're extra motivated and they're focused and they're dialed in. Does that mean you should pay him or not? I don't know. I'm not a GM, but normally guys in contract years play really well. That's just my experience with it.
Yep.
And absolutely no, 1,000,000% no, would you ever move Zach Tom to center. You would not move your best pass blocker to center, where he would not be pass blocking anybody. Tausch, I know Tausch agrees with me on it, and anyone that, maybe some guards wouldn't agree with me on it, but anyone that knows O-line play understands that the premium on tackles is so high that if you have a good one, you don't move him. You don't mess with his position. You don't kick a guy that could be a fantastic 10-year, 12-year All-Pro, Pro Bowl type player in the center that plays tackle. You just don't do it because they're so hard to find that why would you mess with that position, right? Once you find a tackle, you leave him out there and you let him go to work. Now, whether you move him to the left or the right, that's up to the player and the coach and whatever. But, you don't start moving tackles around because you think center is a weak position. That never do that. But I have no problem bringing in some competition for Myers to push him, because if they don't re-sign him, you want a guy in-house that you can just slot right in the following year. And I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. But you're not going to waste a high pick doing that. You're not going to go spend $5 million a year on a replacement or a backup center. So it's going to be a late round pick or a free agent that on a low deal that comes in as, backup for the guard positions and that can play center that will be there for depth and to push these guys a little bit. But Zach Tom, definitely not an option. I mean, Goody may say he's a 5-position player. That's really nice. That's really cool. But you're not putting your tackle at guard or at center.
If we get to any more questions, we will do them during Whoa Nelly, which is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, Wayne, shopping for a new door? Do you need something more dependable?
Yes, something that's durable, dent-resistant, knows how to take a hit, and is going to last for years.
We're still talking about the door, right?
Oh, yeah, right, of course.
Wayne Larrabee and Jeff Levering shopping together at Pella? What next? How about 0% interest for up to 60 months when you place your order by February 23rd at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 2/23/2024.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
If you're in the market for a new wedding band or thinking of replacing an old one, you won't want to miss our annual Wedding Band Trunk Show.
We have the largest selections of men's and women's wedding bands in Dane County.
You'll see all the latest trends, 3 days only.
February 16th, 17th, and 18th.
At our downtown Madison location and at our Middleton location.
You need to come to our Wedding Band Trunk Show.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
What's Vegas Midwest?
Madison, where I went to college, is very fun. You know that, Smalls. You've been there.
Not Madison.
It's not Madison. Madison is a great
college town.
You love Madison.
I love Madison. It is not Las Vegas. It is not Central Vegas.
Is there no Central Vegas then?
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview of the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
As my obsession with Bryan Bulaga, his donkey, and his new orange groves in the middle of Florida and photoshopping them all together continues. Now the donkey's standing behind you. Is this better? I've upgraded the quality. Jesse will switch it out on the video feed.
We're committed to this one, I think.
I mean, Jesse, for some reason, has a V for vendetta against me today. I don't know what it is, but
I didn't make the graphic. I post what Jason sends to me.
I just sent you an updated graphic.
A protruding donkey is what it is.
He has an updated graphic. I see it in the text chain. You know, you can. This just shows that you're very spiteful today. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I did. I mean, what did I do? I mean, I'd like to know.
Oh, that one's better. Yeah, we'll get that one.
Thank you.
We'll get that one.
I'm working very hard over here. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Happy birthday, Jason Wilde.
I know exactly what you're about to read.
Tausch has chimed in
from his vacation.
I feel fantastic.
We don't know where he is. I hope he's having a great time. Tausch retweeting the Wilde and Tausch video stream today. Happy 55th to my oldest radio buddy in the biz. Congratulations, Jason Wilde, and hope you have a great day. That's very kind of Tausch, but Jason, I'm not an expert. I don't know exactly how old you are, but I don't think you're 55.
No, he's not only is he overestimating my age, but his oldest radio buddy in the biz is Homer. Like, his history with Homer on the radio goes back way farther than me, and Homer is way older than me. So, again, the sentiments are nice. I appreciate him taking the time out of his busy vacation schedule to send a tweet. Not that he couldn't, text me or anything, but I appreciate the thoughtfulness. Erroneous information though it may be, I will accept it, so thank you.
Is it better to not get a birthday wish from somebody or to get a birthday wish on the wrong day or have the wrong age associated with it?
Yeah, I think I'd rather just not get one at all.
Yeah. I mean, if someone sends you a birthday text way after your birthday, I mean, what's the point of getting that? Hey, by the way, happy birthday last week.
Right.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And if he'd have gone the other direction, hey, happy 46th to my old radio buddy, fine. Overestimating my age, not as big of a fan. Whoa, Nelly.
Little shot. Whoa,
Nelly. I can't put myself on camera. I forgot I'm not working today. So
what is going on with the video?
I'm really bad at wishing people birthdays.
Yeah, we established that earlier in the show.
It has been established today. So even some of my closest friends, like a lot of times I get my birthday information from Facebook, where you have to put in your birthday when you sign up with an account so everybody knows when your birthday is, and it notifies you when all your friends' birthdays are. I don't often check that until later at night. So usually I would imagine around 9 or 10 p.m. I'm one of the last people, when I do see it, to send people a happy birthday text. So does that make me look bad if it's even the next day, or like you were saying, hey, happy birthday, sorry I missed it yesterday? Is that worse than just not sending anything and be like, oh, I forgot it was your birthday. Happy birthday. I saw it, but it was too late.
I'm okay with one day, Brian, aren't you? You're okay with a belated one day late.
Yeah, if it's a day, that's fine. It gets, but I would say a day late in the morning, not at night, because then it just makes you think, oh man, he just saw everyone posting on my Facebook wall, happy birthday. He just realized it. Now he's sending me a text. So like, if you do it early on that day after, then I think it's fine. But if you wait till the end of the day after, then, you get that text like he totally forgot it. He just saw people post it on Facebook and sent me this text.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. At least that's me. I don't know.
All I'm going to say is do not anticipate on March 21st a text message from Jesse Nelson wishing you a happy birthday.
I will not anticipate, especially after the way today's show went, I will not anticipate a happy birthday text.
You'll get as many on-time birthday wishes from me as Iowa scored points in their final 2 games of the season.
Whoa, Nelly! There we go. Still on it. Still on it. That's all right.
We got Tausch's thoughts on this the other day, but, obviously a lot happening in Kansas City yesterday, outside of the celebration. Earlier in the day on the New Heights podcast, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce did apologize for his, I don't know if you want to call it an outburst or aggressive approach to talking to Andy Reid during the Super
Assault.
Bowl. Yeah, pretty in there. Brian, so Tausch shared his thoughts on it the other day. What were your thoughts when you saw Travis Kelce getting after Andy Reid a little bit during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. It's a bad look. I'm okay with passion. I'm okay with, getting fired up, but one, almost knocking the guy over is ridiculous. And then 2, screaming in his face as close as you can possibly get is probably not the way to approach it. I mean, Andy Reid is a great football coach. I would, demands respect from not only, us talking about him, but from his players as well. And that was just a lack of respect that was shown there. I would never in a million years do that to any coach of mine, simply because I respect them to not get in their face like that and scream at them. Super Bowl, regular season, no matter what, it's a bad look. And there's nothing that Travis Kelce could have done. He could have just approached him like a normal conversation and talked to him. Didn't have to almost knock him over and scream in his face about being on the field for a fumble. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's just a bad look, and I don't like it. And, Andy Reid did a good job of covering for him, essentially saying oh, he caught me off balance or whatever he said and brushed it under the rug. But, it's not a good look. I just don't, to me, it's just, there was no need for it. No need for it.
And by the way, take Travis Kelce's name out and insert another player's name in. I think there were a couple of different players that made this comment I saw on social media. But, whether you're A.J. Brown or Antonio Brown, there are plenty of players that if they did this, what if Jair Alexander had done this to Matt LaFleur?
Oh, it would have been, it would have been unbelievably so polarized, and the attention would be crazy. He'd probably be kicked off. It would just be nuts, right? It would be crazy. It'd be absolutely crazy. Everyone would be calling for him to be suspended even longer or cut or whatever it might be. And, what the answer is going to be from people, the response is, well, he's not a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter if you're that. If you're that, you should even be held to a higher standard that you shouldn't be doing that to coaches, and let alone Andy Reid, right? I think Andy Reid has earned the respect to not have a player scream in his face, at a minimum, right? Come on. It's just – and someone on Twitter was getting after me about it, claims he was a Packer fan. Maybe if you would have done that to Mike McCarthy, you guys would have won more Super Bowls. I'm like, oh, yeah, that would have done it. That would have won us more Super Bowls if I screamed in Mike McCarthy's face a couple more times. Yeah, that would have gotten it done. Yep, sure.
Very frustrating.
No, that would have probably led out to a brawl on the sideline between a coach and a player. Like,
hey,
just
we saw Aaron and Mike get after each other on the sideline in Cincinnati. I want to say maybe 2012-ish, where that was a scene. That was a problem. That was not good. That was just verbally, and B.J. Raji stepped in between them. I don't think that would have been helpful. By the way, this goes back to Evan's point earlier. Mike McCarthy takes a lot of guff. If you're a Packers fan, I understand you're disappointed that the 14 team lost in the NFC Championship game when it should have been in the Super Bowl and some other missed opportunities during his tenure. But my goodness, to suggest that a player, especially of your ilk, Brian, who accomplished as much as you have, should have gotten in Mike McCarthy's face like that, and that would have been helpful? I don't see it.
It makes no sense.
Not seeing it.
And nice, very nice, Jesse. Very nice.
Jesse, did you do that one?
No, this one comes courtesy of...
Great places, South Dakota.
Jack Rabbit Mama, who also says, ears up, happy birthday, Jason.
Oh, thanks. That's very kind. All right, that's enough for Whoa Nelly. Bryan and I and Tausch are all out tomorrow, so in our stead in this window, you will get Rutledge and Hamilton as your cousin subs of the day. So Bryan and I will bid farewell next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Memphis Grizzlies.
Beasley fires up a three on the other side, knocks it down, and does a little shimmy after the fact.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Jesse Nelson here for Hanson & Sons, Madison's #1 family-owned chimney and fireplace specialist. To celebrate 71 years of service, Hanson & Sons is offering 7.1% savings on any of their new high-efficiency installed fireplaces or their expert winter masonry chimney repairs. Replace that old, dirty, wood-burning fireplace with a new high-efficiency, remote-controlled gas or electric fireplace. Sale ends February 29th. Go to HansonandSons.com for more information. That's HansonandSons.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. The 20th ranked Wisconsin men's basketball team got back on track Tuesday night with a win over Ohio State at the Kohl Center, snapping a 4-game losing streak. The Badgers look to stack back-to-back wins for the first time in the month of February Saturday afternoon as they head to take on Iowa. The Badgers are in third place in the Big Ten with a 9-5 record in conference play, with just 6 games remaining before the start of the Big Ten tournament. 2 of the final 6 games include the top 2 teams in the Big Ten, Purdue and Illinois. It's Badgers Hawkeyes, a 1:15 tip on the Big Ten Network this Saturday.
Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, or get no money down, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday, and we will let you know where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, me and Matt are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Up North Pub, Argus Bar and Grill, Dots Tavern, and New Paradise Lounge.
Hey everyone, Molly Brown here from ESPN Madison. For the best Southwestern food and margaritas in the Madison area, it's always Pasquale's Cantina for me. Whether I'm enjoying my favorite taco salad, their awesome chips and guac, or one of their famous burritos, Pasquale's is the best for authentic Southwestern fare. Plus, they have one of the largest tequila selections around. Visit one of their locations in Verona or Middleton today, or check out their menu and order online at Pasquale'sCantina.com.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
Life has its moments, times to remember and share.
Make the most of those special occasions by visiting Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street. John Hayes from Goodman's Jewelers. We're here to help you make that perfect selection for your memorable moment. When you think of diamonds, you hear about color, cut, clarity, and carat weight. We can help you understand that. But we're equally concerned with earning your trust with the quality of our selection and our service. Goodman'sJewelers.com, in the heart of downtown Madison. Truly a destination worth reaching.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs. Lend a hand in the strong and capable Silverado. Or mix it up in a high-tech Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Find family, friends, and fun in the Chevy that's right for you.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
NBA All-Star Weekend on ESPN Radio.
3, go!
The 73rd NBA All-Star Game.
Luka Doncic just won it!
Coverage begins Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80. Presented by Indeed.
Ready to roll, ready or not, ready to give it all I got. Gotta live to win, get up, get even. Ready to roll, ready
Old T giving me a hard time, notwithstanding. Before I say this, I want to make it very clear. He's fantastic, and we miss him when he's not here. Just like we miss Jesse when he's not here. That said,
wow.
No, we do, not as much. There's not an equivalency there on how much we miss Tausch versus how much we miss you. But we are really lucky, and I'm not here to blow sunshine up your purple hoodie or put you directly behind a donkey. But we are really lucky to have you, man. And I'm so glad that you have joined our team. I know that your schedule is shifting a little bit here. I'm going to get to talk to you still on Mondays now on the Homer Hour when you're on then, which I look forward to. But, man, I love it when you fill in, and we're really lucky to have you. You know, we've been known to have to beg on occasion for cousin subs when Tausch is out, and you stepped into the breach, and we're so happy that you did it. Thanks for these 2 days, buddy. You've been great.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. I always have a blast doing it, even though Jesse kind of got after me today a little bit. I still had a blast, and I enjoyed doing it. I think this is a really fun show, so anytime I can help out, I'm more than willing.
Well, we will start working on our live remote from the Bulaga family, Orange Grove, and Donkey Farm. Tomorrow it'll be Rutledge and Hamilton taking over Wilde and Tausch. So if you don't get to hear them regularly, if you're a Milwaukee listener, they are on every weekday in Madison from 4 to 6, but you'll be able to get them from 9 to noon tomorrow. Thanks to everyone who joined us all week long. But most importantly, thanks to Brian, and thanks to Jesse for all of his efforts.
Happy birthday,
as well.
Jason!
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's it for us. Have a great weekend, or a great Friday, since we won't be here. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at